Hey,
Hello.
what's going on, guys? Welcome to our developer Q&A for the 26th of May 2015. I am Mod James, and I have with me, you want to introduce yourselves?
Yeah.
Everyone should know you by now.
Yeah, I'm Mod Rowley, law specialist and content developer.
Modpie, game engine developer, combat specialist, and ninja.
Mod Kelpie, lead ninja and project manager.
Cool, so today we have a fair few cool things. We've got some cool GE teaser pictures with new slots, history and that kind of stuff. And I'm gonna mention it. We do also have two, in fact, Vampyre-esque teaser images as well, which you can look forward to later on. We'll bring that up at some point when Mod Rowley gives me the nod, basically. Feel free to ask questions throughout the stream, and we would like to incorporate even more Twitch questions and Twitter questions during the stream, as well as ones pre-prepared. So there's a hashtag at the bottom, feel free to tweet to that. And then also feel free to throw some Twitch questions in the chat now, and we'll get those into a line to be answered during the stream as well. I'm going to kick it off with before we go into sort of like a big topic, I'm going to kick off with a bit of an icebreaker as well. And the first question this week is from ultimately, since Mod Kelpie is now leading the ninja team, has the official response changed to, will seagulls drop feathers?
Ooh, I'm not sure.
It is a tough one.
Yeah, it is a very tough one. I don't know. I think like maybe the feathers are like magically linked to Armadillo, so if Armadillo was to ever die, then maybe they'll start dropping feathers. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it depends how much you really want it. Do you like Armadillo or seagulls
feathers?
from feathers?
Yeah.
Seagulls from feathers.
Seagulls from feathers, yeah. Feathers that drop seagulls.
Holy shit, this is new stuff going in.
That's featherception. Yeah.
Oh man.
All right. So is that all you're going to give them today?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Right. There is another kind of less serious question coming in from Air Outer. He asked, we've heard the term TAP mentioned on previous streams. That's TAPP. TAP standing for Thursday Afternoon Personal Project. What projects do you guys work on in your TAP? So do you want to explain the premise of what it is first?
Yeah, I mean, TAP is a chance for us to kind of work on what we kind of want to work on. I mean, there's limits, of course, but there isn't too limiting, so we can choose to work on like creating our own RuneScape ideas that we really want to make. And we have seen some updates in the past that have come from TAP.
Wildy Worm, is that one of them?
Yeah, Wildy Worm was one TAP project, yeah.
You just thought, you know what, we're bringing it back, and then you worked on it in your TAP?
Well, I just kind of looked at the code and saw it hadn't been updated for EOC, so I updated it for EOC, and then it kind of evolved into a project of its own.
With some pretty cool whip specs and things like that.
The stuff that
yeah, no one's buying the whip at the moment, but
the stuff that you're currently doing in beta is also TAP stuff, isn't it?
yeah, all of the beta stuff I do is TAP stuff. I've reworked the Crucible to basically be Bounty Hunter in my TAP.
The original Bounty Hunter with target system.
Yeah, the target system, like the icons over the head, like the 3-minute pickup penalty, absolutely everything. So, because no one's using Crucible at the moment.
Where did you place it? Back in the crater, or?
Yeah, I've basically just replaced the Crucible with actually Bounty Hunter.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Because I felt that's basically what people wanted from the Crucible was Bounty Hunter. So, yeah.
Ooh. So the players might be interested in that, I imagine.
Yeah. If you guys want it released, make some noise. It's currently not on any backlog to be released, but yeah.
Your TAP, Mod Rowley?
No, for one of mine, I plugged in the voiceover for the Seren Memoriam crystals, which we released about a month ago now, I think it was. I'm also, as an exercise in design, I'm just creating a tabletop game as well.
All right, cool.
Just for the hell of it, I think.
Yeah. Oh, what am I doing?
Why not?
Did
you just carry on working like me sometimes?
Nah, well, yeah, sometimes. It depends,
work.
Because there's a bit of freedom there. So if you are really busy, you don't have to do it. You can do other stuff or not, or move it to another day. I've looked at some messing around with like Unity and stuff like that, but also like written stuff for project ideas and stuff.
Cool. So we've got some bigger topic questions coming in. One from Frozen Terror, which asks, when can we expect news on Runefest? So that's obviously quite a juicy one.
So
I have a response, but do you want to go for it?
Yeah, I mean,
can't be the bearer of good news. Well,
yeah, sometime in June, essentially. Like we're not too far away now. we should have some
news in
to
June.
share with you. So
Yeah.
we might.
Sometime in June. Like, whoa.
Yeah, sorry. No, there's no Runefest in June. It will still be kind of like similar time of the year as like last year and stuff.
Yeah, but there you go. So
but
like news,
yes.
news in June.
So we might be getting like Mod Mac. Is that his
Mod
full
Mac,
name?
yeah.
He might be coming along too.
So last
Give
year
out
we
more
did
information
last year we did a
something.
live stream explaining a lot of the stuff to do with RuneFest. So
Mhm.
I mean, hopefully this year we'll do something similar as well, which would be cool.
Yeah.
And then another one from Cyan Blur. With the G spaces increasing in line with Old School's update, that's the thing we'll see later.
Yeah.
Any plans to match additional bank spaces Old School RS has given its members? RS3 has way more items and its bank doesn't scale accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
Without additional payment, he's added.
Yep. So some good news, hopefully, is June the 15th, we're going to be giving all members 100 free bank space.
So an extra
So that's coming
100
along.
free.
Yep.
June 15th.
So they'll all be coming June 15th.
Sweet.
So there you go. We have a question from the Twitch chat. It's coming from Hobo Jake, and he asks, how can I get the Enlightenment Aura if they don't have it already? Or how can one get the Enlightenment Aura if they don't have it already?
So that's either through purchasing the summer package, or you get it for free if you've been a subscriber for 12 months or more, I believe. Is that correct? Yeah. Sorry, I had to confer with our audience here.
So there you go. All right, so loads of general questions from I'm Burnwell. Will we ever see a graphical rework to isolated buildings in much need of love, like Galahad's house? Where's Galahad's house? Is that the guy that gives you the tea?
It's off by
Yeah.
Gruber's.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
there's like a clue there just out front of his gate, and he gives you loads of tea for some reason. The outpost from Meeting History. That's obviously just Novel doing quite far out of date. And then the Crafting Guild.
Mhm.
So any chances on reworking random areas? I think his question actually mentioned things like, do you know how the Ninja team did Pyramid Plunder not too
Mhm.
long ago?
Yeah.
Things like that.
So it's certainly possible. Within the Ninja team, we do have Mod AOB, who is a modeler who does specialize on environments. He's currently working with Team 1 on the raids, which we've kind of given a bit of information out on today with the summer package stuff. So for the next month or so, he's helping out them. But once he comes back, we will be looking to kind of update existing areas on the surface world, particularly because at some point in the future we will have NXT, and with a greater draw distance, it throws up a lot of issues where
Especially if
you
you're
kind of
stood
like-
in a nice area, then you see like this
Yeah.
scabby looking building out in the distance.
So yeah, we want to like improve that sort of thing, because I think a lot of people saw it with like the HTML5 stuff. You stand at some area and look across, and it looks all a bit dodgy and stuff and a bit weird, and especially when you have like Draenor, which is all dark and yet you can see it from a place where it's all light and stuff. So I believe they're sorting that out with NXT. It's gonna look better than the HTML5
I was going to
stuff
ask
anyway.
stuff like, do you know how when the HTML5 came out, that increased draw distance, islands that you travel to by boat, you could then
Yeah,
see.
you could just like jump across.
Like, how easy would it be to like move them further away?
We won't be moving them.
Okay.
I'm not really allowed to talk too much about NXT. We've said every week that once they're ready to talk about more stuff, then like they'll let us know. But there is a kind of solution to that sort of stuff, I guess.
All right, cool. That's a good one to know. We have another question coming in from Twitter from GY Romancy. Will the Tusk event have any pet rewards? I guess people like pets these days, don't they? Pets for kind of most things.
I don't think it does.
No, I can't think of one.
I can't think of one off the top of my head.
We could make
No.
Tusker a pet, but that might break things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like there's nothing kind of planned now. There might be stuff kind of linked with the raids or something. I mean, that's me just speculating. I don't actually know. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely possibilities that you could create pets, but I don't think there's any plans at the moment to reward any.
All right, cool. This is a question that's come in many times over the years, so we're going to give it a quick answer from Elven Wing. Are there any plans to release weather into the game, like storms and things?
So this is something that's been requested quite a bit on Rune Labs, along with like a day and night cycle. So day and night cycle we won't do because of just the theme of it. like everywhere is made to be even a light or dark area. So like if you suddenly put a day and night cycle in like Varrock or something, and everyone's still outside during the night, it doesn't like theme well, and it would be a lot of work to theme it nicely. So we won't do that. But weather is something that we would do, but it's not like a big thing for us. It's, you know, if it came top of Rune Labs, we'll certainly do it. I do actually believe though there is a JMod working on it on their tap time, so it could be something cool. That we'll see. I'll need to check. I'll need to like see if they're still working on it, sort of thing. But yeah, like
there is weather in the game in a few areas right now. For example, I can't remember the name, the Lowstone, which one it is. The one if you go to like Keldergrim area, you've got the snow over your screen.
We had the in Dimension of Disaster. We had the very localized rain and lightning. We were just using it for theme rather than any sort of superficial cosmetic
like weather kind of. Then you have other things like if you enter the smoke dungeon, you have that kind of smoky feel over your screen. I feel like that could just get annoying.
There's some better things we can do with environmental settings, especially in NXT, which will make it a lot better, because currently like the stuff you're talking about is just like literally like a frame over the top of your screen. It's kind of cheating, but it's what you had to do back in the day.
Players asking if we're ever going to bring out bathrooms. I don't think so.
I think it's because there was a...
Are there?
There are
yeah.
It's because there was a Mythbusters
gnome
stream not long
area,
ago where I think Ash revealed there was more than... There was a bathroom in RuneScape, like a toilet.
This is feedback I gave, but in Broken Home there are a few bathrooms, no toilets.
Oh, okay.
Just bathrooms.
No, there is a toilet in game.
Oh, okay.
There's actually an actual like public toilet door in game.
Where is it?
I think it's somewhere in the gnome area. I'm not 100% sure.
So there's like
guys, find it. There's definitely a toilet. I've seen it on Reddit.
If you see it in the chat, because I can't see, because I can't read it from here. If you see it, then let me know. 'Cause I want to know.
Someone was asking whether or not you guys can get the Crucible titles outside of the Crucible. The answer is yes. It's part of the actual Crucible rework that you can get the titles outside, because they're pretty cool titles. And it would be nice to have something that from the Crucible that people would actually want.
I feel like we should straw poll. I feel like we could straw poll the whole bounty hunter in Crucible thing. Do you want
go for it. Yeah. Sure thing.
All right, guys. So, was it 5 minutes ago? Mod Pie mentioned that in his personal time, he developed what was essentially Bounty Hunter long ago inside the Crucible. Do you want to give him a bit more info before we poll it?
Basically, the real question is, do you want us to replace the current version of the Crucible with what is effectively the Bounty Hunter crater that we had in the middle of the wilderness back in the day? Well, I suppose there's not really any point mentioning the extension I made, which is basically like a Quake-style deathmatch, but with RuneScape PvP in there. But
the thing to note, this is just a chat straw poll, so it's nothing super official, but it kind of gauges interest, so that's quite cool. Yeah. We'll do another question, then we'll come back to that.
Apparently the toilet is in Temple of Light, I just saw on there, so on the chat.
The Temple of Light, there we go.
Fair enough. One of the dark beasts.
I don't know if that's true or not.
The puzzle did take a long time.
The shadows are pretty scary, you know.
It did turn into one.
Midway through. Hold up, guys. Alright, Darth Vader asks, can we expect to see the clan permissions update? Oh, can we still expect to see the clan permissions update? I think it was something that the DevCon team had said they were looking to work on.
Yes.
And if you don't know since then, the DevCon team
is no more.
The members have moved to other teams / the Ninja team. So.
Yeah, we expanded, like part of the Ninja team expansion was closing that team down and expanding Ninja and moving a few other people to some of the other teams and stuff. So, not really. We're doing a clan funnel update in Ninja team. Mods Ashers is working on that. Within the next week or so, you should see a dev blog posted in the Ninja subforum for that. Some of it might include like bits of that permissions rewrite.
I was going to say,
not all of it.
It's going to include a lot of the getting into clans, the wait time, looking at those kind of annoying things with clans. I guess if in the dev blog post, if you've got other things that are quite annoying or you would like to see change, then there's no harm.
Yeah. So definitely
giving
give
it
you feedback on that sort of thing. I mean, like we have been looking at like the clan forums and stuff for suggestions for that project stuff. So we have gathered a fair amount of feedback already. But yeah, if there's more, do let us know.
Cool. And then, do we have the straw poll results, or should I do another question? Do you have another question? Okay.
some time.
What is the most commonly suggested ninja fix?
You've been in the ninja team a lot longer than me.
Probably seagulls. isn't it?
Seagulls, yeah, seagulls dropping feathers. Most of them are like, here is this random obscure thing that you only ever see once. Can you graphically update it, please?
The Black Knight Titans? No way.
Never.
Leave him alone.
Never.
Never
We
touching
did
it.
internally. We
The
did
fence.
actually.
Leave the fence.
Internally, someone did actually start working on updating the Black Knight Titan, and literally the whole of the ninja team went never, no, and we got it canned because like that man is going down in history, like crazy spiky hair.
Well, I mean, the thing with ninja team is if it's a sensible thing, it gets done pretty quickly. You know,
Yeah.
so there isn't like a lot of requests. We get repeated requests. It's likely that they're going to get done, or we're going to give the feedback and say why not. Yeah.
All right, we do have the straw poll results, and it's an overwhelming yes. I think it's at 87%?
Looks like it.
87% yes, and that was for, would you like to see the Bounty Hunter replace the Crucible? So, looks like the Crucible's going down.
Should I put it in the pad of hope?
The Pad of Hope.
The pad of hope.
The old Pad
You've
of
just
Hope.
made more work for yourself. So yeah, there you go.
Yay!
There you go, that's quite interesting to see what happens with that one. I'll go into another question over here. From Maradim, why does one of the ancient cavern notes mention Scarabass, so far from the desert?
Oh man, I don't actually know this one.
Is this more on the spot lore, like, quick guys?
Can't make something up.
Yeah, I'd have to look that one up, I'm afraid.
Okay.
I don't actually know that one. Not off the top of my head, at least.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, should I ask it again next week? Are you going to be here next week? I'm not sure.
If not, I can answer it on Twitter.
Okay, cool. We'll try and get you an answer for that one, Meridian. But interesting still. What else have we got here? We're going for a bigger topic one. A question about the death rework for Iron Men.
Mm-hmm.
Will the amount Iron Men have to pay on death depend on the G price or the ALC price? Because everything right now, if they obviously examine it, it gives you the ALC price rather than the G price, because the G is kind of not part of the Iron Man style of gameplay. So I was wondering about the
No, it's
Definitely.
currently for the GE price, and it will be staying that way. I spoke briefly to Mod Hunter about it today, and yeah, the out prices doesn't compare
it
to
doesn't
the
compare,
GE
it's
price
way
really.
lower.
So yeah, it's going to stick to GE price.
All right, cool. So did something else just go on the Pad of Hope?
Someone suggested that the pad of hope should be renamed the Pi Pad
The Pi Pad.
as opposed to iPad. I think I quite like that. So I just wrote Pi Pad at the top.
There you go.
It's got to be done.
Fair enough. This one's from Autumnally. It seems slightly reworded. It seems the new prismatic color wheel is just microtransactions within microtransactions. Isn't that just too far? Do you care to comment?
I don't think it's too far. I think there was a interesting Reddit post I think the other day, which was discussing like the complaints and stuff, and this is a purely cosmetic microtransaction. So the fact that it doesn't like affect the game, like affect gameplay or in any way, I think is a good thing. And is we've briefly mentioned in previous live streams like Drakes and such, and I think this is the better way to go than that sort of stuff. And I don't like, as far as I'm concerned, like I don't have any problems with it. I think it's cool.
Well, we've taken on board the feedback from things like we mentioned, was it last week or 2 weeks ago, we mentioned we'd taken on board feedback from things like some of the more contested NTX updates recently, like the Drake, for example. And yeah, like you said, if you consider this one is just cosmetic.
And it's cosmetic and doesn't like get in the way of other people, I guess.
If you've already got something, you're just recoloring it.
Yeah. I mean, it's just your outfit. It's not like, doesn't fully color someone else's screen or something, it's
There were a couple of questions I
was about to read one out, which mentions, apologies because I don't remember the name, but it was asking what skills, there we go, from Dayan Gohung RS. For the Tusker event, will there be a variety of skills to choose from so we could get the rewards from the event without unwanted levels?
I believe so, yeah. I think each of the islands that Deg showed you has a variety of things you can do on it.
Yeah, there's there's always a combat option and a skilling option on each of those islands.
So that plays to especially those who don't like to train their combat stats. So I guess one of the main audiences.
So there should be enough choice there. Don't know.
There was one question: will ancient magics ever be useful in EOC? The answer is yes. I can't tell you anything about it right now, but I know something is in the works to allow ancient magics to be much more useful in EOC. And there was another question on a lighter note: who is the highest ranked JMod? The answer is Mod Hunter.
He's part of the ninja team.
Part of the ninja team.
He's also the highest ranked Iron Man.
Yeah, he's also the highest ranked Iron Man as well.
We've got quite a few of the highest ranked players are all in the ninja team, don't we?
He's a Mod Hunter's in particular is an absolute beast though. He was top 10 for like a good 2-3 years. He reached rank 2 at one point. And I remember one bonus XP weekend. He got 160 mil summoning XP in one weekend. But he also came to my Halloween party during that weekend as well. So the guy turned up to a party and still got like bank XP.
He didn't bring like his laptop with him.
No, he didn't. He's just absolutely insane. Like.
Hi.
I was going to say, like, the reason we ask a lot of the Iron Man questions is because we have, out of the top 4 ranked Iron Men, we've got 3 of them in the ninja team. I'm one of them, so I'll make sure to ask all those questions.
Well, they were top 3, weren't they? And then someone let us down, didn't they?
Is that me?
I don't think so. I think it was...
Well, I'm 4, so...
Oh, are you? Well, it must be you then. Yeah.
All right. One here from Nguyen RSS. Can we get an in-game message when one of our followed Twitch streamers goes live via the Twitch interface in-game? So that was a part of the project last year with the Twitch integration into RuneScape, where you can log in with your Twitch account and see things like the chat.
It's certainly an interesting one. I think it'd be nice to do.
It'd be quite a cool feature, especially if you're following them. So.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think it'd be cool to add. I don't know if you know about any of the codes and stuff around it.
The support for the Twitch API is a little bit restricted, so we can't make any promises right here on what we can and cannot do. There's reasons why we didn't do certain things and why we did.
Yeah.
I think the Twitch API itself as well has changed. Like we were very lucky to get the Twitch API we have right now because support was dropped for the old API at a certain point, which is what we're currently using. Like if we tried to do what we've done now today, we probably wouldn't be able to do it.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we'll definitely look into it, but we'll see because it does sound really cool.
Guys, again, I'll just reiterate again, be sure to ask questions in the chat if you'd like to get them answered, and also you can ask them on the Twitter hashtag at the bottom of the screen. We have another one in the from the Twitch chat. It's from Twitter, from RS Jimbobs. Will RS3 get an equivalent to old school RuneScape's Deadman mode? Their Deadman mode, they did a stream not too long ago where they put up a rough schedule for the future, and it mentioned later this year, like let's say autumn-ish time this year. Are RuneScape 3 looking to do something similar?
I mean, last time we kind of teased that Vampyre is going to be working on some PvP stuff, and that is, I guess, our equivalent of the Deadman mode. I mean, like, it's still to be discussed and stuff. And we could still do our own version or something. But for right now, like our PvP plans is kind of stuff that Vampyre is going to be working on in the coming months, sort of thing. But yeah, I'm not ruling it out. Particularly if old school launch it and it's very, very popular, then it would seem sensible to have a version in RS3. But right now, plans aren't necessary to copy it.
Okay. Another one coming in from the chat, which said, from Zyafram, does the Enlightenment Aura work for Iron Men?
No.
Okay.
I don't believe it does. I asked.
So if you purchase the summer package on Iron Man, you won't get one?
I don't know. You might get it, but it might just not work.
Okay, fair enough.
So yeah, I mean that was a decision made by like big Iron Man players and stuff within the team. So yeah.
All right, cool. Did you want to show off some of the Vampyre images?
We could do, yeah.
You cool with that?
If you like, yeah, we can do. I mean, this is super early though, so we're not showing anything too revealing.
So the thing is with quests, we never want to spoil anything to do with the quest line whatsoever. So the one thing we are willing to do is show off the odd kind of teaser image, something that was in concept early on.
Yeah, it's an early part of what happens in the quest, so it shouldn't give too much away.
Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to throw up the first image, which is an area, just an area to do with the new vampires. In just a second, maybe. I'm gonna. There we go. So it's up on the screen now.
Okay.
Ask so we can see it as well.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. This is just an area that's from quite early on in the quest.
Mod Simon, can we see it as well, please? There we go.
There's not too much that I'd like to say about this, but maybe you can pick that one apart and see what you can see in there. Quite clearly some Saradominist leanings in the art there.
And this is that stained window there on the right. Ooh, interesting.
Cool.
I used to love picking apart images like this when they came out as teasers.
And the other one I think is a bit more interesting.
So do you want to head over to the other image? So I'll load the other image for you now, which will come up in just a second.
So here we go. This is some new blisterwood weapons that we just wanted to flesh out what was already there, so that there are two-handed and dual-wielding options for all combat styles. So here you've got it's actually a two-handed crossbow from two different angles, and as you can see, it's very, I suppose, fan service vampire hunting weapon that just fires stakes out of it. And we've got the wand.
I was going to say, it looks like a wand in the middle there. That's quite cool.
And we've upgraded sickles to blisterwood versions, which can be dual wielded, given the iconic Mareki symbol shape for the blade. And we're well aware that there's really not much reason for having all of this variety for blisterwood, because vampires at the moment, they're like even the lords and ladies are only weak to one style anyway. But that's something we're going to look to address either with the quest or perhaps a little bit afterwards to give more reason to use those.
Cool. Another question I had that was a bit random, might be a curveball, don't worry, was to do with someone, I remember I just read it on, I think I read it on Reddit, but it was after I'd already collected the questions, to do with the Adamant and Rune Dragons.
Okay.
I know that you've worked with ModStew, or you work on the team with ModStew, and answered some of the questions last week. If they would require a shield or not. Because obviously right now you have your extreme anti-fire potions, with these being higher tier again, if there's anything to do with the shield.
Well, there's a very definite reason. Well, you're going to need a shield for these.
Okay.
I mean, even with a shield and anti-fires, I think that's not going to be 100% protection, I don't think, from runes. They're higher level. They've got stronger.
I don't expect them to hit hard.
damage.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and there's a smaller use for the Dragonfire shield, but I mean it's like nothing major that you should rush out and get a shield for.
You trying to cover
No minutes, please.
No manipulation this way. But there's just a small lore-based teaser that might come in handy for. So, yeah, your mileage may vary, I'd say.
I got a question from Maniac Hex. Which of the desert gods would you like to create more in-game lore around?
How about all of them? I think mostly Ixfalarin and Amaska. So it's kind of handy that one of the options in the poll for Rune Labs is the world event type thing for those two.
Yeah.
I think it would be good to make more of their story, especially after Mod Ollie with Missing Presumed Death made Ixfalarin's character a lot more to the fore, and a lot of people responded well to him. And Amasket's a long-time favourite. I mean, the lesser gods are interesting, but they're not really developed. I think those two would be the ones to focus on.
All right, cool. Do you want to go into Rune Labs?
Rune Labs, yeah. I did bring my sheet so that I can remember some of the information. So.
Right, what are we going to kick it off with? We're going to kick it
So
off
yeah, so Rune Labs changed over the criteria today. So May's criteria of Halloween content is over, and that will go to a poll on Thursday. If you go to the player power polls section of the form, you can see I've created a thread there, so you can see in full detail what the options are. But as Rowley mentioned, there's one for Ixfalarin versus a mascot. Did I pronounce that wrong? Probably.
How do you pronounce it? Because I did on
I
my
pronounced
email.
it
I did
wrong.
Ixfalarin's little helper, and I was like, is it Ixfalarin or
Yeah, I've got a bit of a cold at the moment, so I can't say it.
Yeah.
One of you three should say it.
Ixfalarin?
Isn't it Ixthalarian?
Ixthalarian, yeah.
Ixthalarian. There you go.
So yeah, that guy and the other person.
guy.
They're in the band.
Just call them Icky and Amy.
Icky and Amy. There we go. So there's
God Pet's coming to you soon. Right.
Yeah, so there's an event centered around kind of like going into the underworld and kind of like helping or hindering lost spirits in there. There's one called Spectres of War. So this is kind of with the World Event 2, where you had all the kind of like caravans and stuff moving around. This is kind of like based on like all the people who died and that and stuff, and they're kind of like raising up as ghosts and kind of roaming around and stuff, and you're interacting with them. And then there's the third option is like a mini quest that's a sequel to Broken Home. So that's kind of spoilers alert. With the quest, when you kind of like delve down into like the city and stuff, it's kind of exploring more of that area sort of thing. So those are the three options. Poll starts Thursday. It'll run for a week. So be sure to vote on to that. And then with the new criteria, it's all based on high-level mobs. So yeah, we're just looking for like, and by high-level mobs, talking about kind of like Slayer creatures, but stuff that you're gonna.
So not bosses, but
not
more
bosses,
like
no.
a Slayer-esque monster, not sorry, but more
Yeah,
like a Slayer-esque, like
it would be kind of, you would fight it, as a Slayer challenge sort of thing. And it's we're talking about high levels, so stuff that you're going to want to bring your best gear to fight, essentially. So kind of more of those sort of things. It's a medium-sized project, so we'll probably end up being able to take 2 or 3. So I imagine we'll end up with a poll of like 6 to 8 options, and then players would have 2 to 3 options to vote for stuff. And
so like a multi-course, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, we'll have to see really like what the players suggest and pick up. So we're not looking for people to kind of talk about their rewards. Like we'll handle like the rewards and the balancing side of it. We're really interested in just like cool monster designs. So kind of like the questions we're asking are like, where does it live? Like what does it feed on? What its weaknesses and such. So you kind of like create the a cool concept for a monster, and then we'll handle like the rewards and stuff like that.
Can they suggest mechanics?
They can suggest mechanics. Definitely mechanics more so, but they feel free to like still suggest like rewards and stuff, but don't pin your kind of like concept on it, because we will go in and change that sort of thing. So definitely suggest stuff, but the focus is on like the cool monsters really.
Well, something cool I'd like to see is the like you have a Rax obviously in Mauritania, that kind of area. It'd be cool to see like a high level mob, but not like the boss of Araxos, like a Slayer task of something spider-esque would be cool.
That'd be cool. Some other ones that we had so far, so there was like octopuses. So I had to check it because I thought it was octopi was the plural, but I checked it and it's not. It's not. It's octopuses. Did you say?
What do you call like a school of fish? Is it a school of octopuses? I just want to know. So then we have those things.
I googled it today, and I asked what the plural of octopuses was, and it said octopuses. So.
Octopuses, yeah.
Do you know when you like have something? That's something that hits my mind, and I won't be able to let it go now until I find out the answer.
You're thinking of the collective noun.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I don't know if they have.
Someone in the chat will give it to us.
I'm sure there will be something.
You'll have to read it out to me though, but
yeah.
You'll have to read it out to me because I can't read it.
So there was like them, and like they had like a cool mechanic where they like squirt ink at you, so like your screen actually gets covered in black, so you can't see like all your interface and stuff.
Like Mario Kart.
Kind of, that's kind of cool. Kind of talking about some like the desert stuff. There was like someone suggesting like lizard men as like a kind of faction for Krondis.
Krondis, yeah.
Yeah.
We're coming up with some names this morning. Krondosians or Krondites or Gatorades, I think.
Yeah.
Gatorades.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, it's a nice idea. You've got Simona there in the desert. It'd be good to have some more actual Slayer targets in the desert.
Yeah.
Other than crocodiles and.
You got the
crocodiles,
desert lizards, as well.
Yeah, what else is in there? You've got those. What are those silly things that hop around, like the locust riders, whatever they are, like the
Scaberites. Yeah, they're there too.
But you were mentioning that Krondis was like, if I'm even pronouncing that one right.
No,
no, cool. I've actually got one right. Is like the god of fertility. So we're just laughing about how kind of like odd that.
There's an element of that in there. Yeah. I don't know if that would be appropriate for.
Yeah. And then another one was, it's kind of like a nice little one as well, was like the Shadow of the Vow, was it? Vaku, which are on Karamja sort of thing. So they're kind of like from what I was reading of the suggestion, they were kind of like a demon zombie kind of mixture sort of thing. I don't know if there's anything more you can say about them.
That was, I guess, a kind of a throwaway lore thing from Titan back in the day. I mean, there's no reason that you couldn't elaborate on that and like make something of it. It could be something really interesting there. Zombie demons, I mean, tormented demons as well. They're not a million miles away from that. So there's precedent.
There's a bit more information on the actual thread. Like, I'm not doing it full justice by calling it zombie demons. There is a lot more kind of lore suggestion around it and stuff.
It's pretty cool, those kind of things as well, because when you have like lots of creatures like the dwarves and stuff, that's kind of throughout a lot of history, etc. Whereas things like our obsidian creatures, they're unique to RuneScape. The Tazar, they're unique to RuneScape, and like so to come up with some new monsters that are very unique to RuneScape, like you'd only find this in RuneScape as opposed to throughout lots of different medieval games and such, would be quite cool.
Yeah, so do get onto Rune Labs, support other people's ideas, suggest your own for like cool new high level mobs.
We have is that everything for Rune Labs?
Yes.
All right, cool.
Um,
Do you want
I
a really quick recap on it? Or?
Poll out on Thursday for May's Halloween stuff. Get into Rune Labs now to suggest ideas for new high level mobs.
Cool.
I got a couple of things in the chat.
Go on then.
Minor things.
Are they made for the Hope Pad?
They did go into the PiPad, yeah.
Oh, the PiPad.
The PiPad, yeah. One guy was asking for us to block Venge Xp. Basically, we've got a blocking game for blocking PvP XP. It's something we picked up last week.
Okay, so not blocking Venge when they cast it.
We're looking at removing casting XP, basically, when you toggle that on. And another person was asking for us to remove the offensive requirements on Glacier boots. I think they are tank. I'm pretty sure they're tank boots, so there shouldn't really be an offensive requirement on them. I'll double check with Chris because it's his content, but I think it should be all right.
Cool. We had a question from Twitter from Darox2. Any chance of a damage counter inside the boss room so you can see who's done the most damage during a fight? Because that's something that's done in the a third-party client for a lot of old school players, and it's quite popular. Things like Corporal Beast. So.
What do you think?
Sounds like a pretty cool addition. We can look into it.
Can look into it.
Cool.
It's something like that. Maybe not.
It might be something that's in the works that's similar to it. So
maybe, I don't know.
We'll have to check it out and see. But yeah, if not, then in some format it'll probably come in.
Onyx Meter asks from Reddit, is the Rat Pits minigame ever going to be improved?
Probably not. To be honest, we're
Bam! I was just thinking, is he going to give the blunt answer? Is he going to do it? And it's nah, mate.
No.
well, to be honest, at some point we'll probably just get around to removing it.
Oh, look to that. Upset some people.
Maybe, but
everyone's going to unite in their love for the Rat Pits, the nostalgia and the memory of Rat Pits now. Oh, yeah. Rat Catchers, what a horrible quest that thing is.
You can always straw poll it. Should we just remove Rat Pits?
Do you want it?
Go for it.
Go on then.
Should we remove Rat Pits? Amazing.
These questions in turn to
should a giant meteorite just fall on all of the entrances to the Rat Pits?
Oh no, Tusker is heading for Rat Pits.
No! There was a good question, and I'm not sure exactly where it is, so I'm going to just bring it up now while that straw poll will go in the chat. To do with, so we saw a cool Tusker pre-release kind of teaser event thing last weekend. Is there, and we've seen obviously a few other little Easter eggs and additions going out around the areas. Is there plans to do anything like that for future content? Because I haven't done it for a long time.
Yeah, in fact, no, because if I say we are doing something,
yeah, it doesn't really.
You can't say what for. You can say if we plan to do it, I guess.
I think it's. Particularly the reaction on Sunday was great. A lot of people were hyped up and
it's nice.
Interacting
it's nice to
with
see it being unexpected, like the Strange Power was way back 2000.
Gets everyone together.
Wow.
So yeah, those are good, and I think we can certainly look to do more. The thing is though, it's you probably only want to keep it for like only your
big
bigger updates,
yeah.
or else if you start doing it for every single thing, it's kind of like lessens the significance of it.
Yeah, I mean the Tusk one, the Strange Power, they're very global, they're very obvious. I think it'd be interesting to do something that's a lot more subtle that maybe doesn't get picked up on straight away. We've done some like the hidden mini quests in the past.
Yeah.
Like is the one with the kiln, not the Falcon, the Tazar race, isn't you have to look at, there's like a mini quest after that.
Well, the
like
girl.
Hidden Lord.
Hidden girl.
I think you should ask Mod Stu about that when he comes back.
Yeah,
I think he'd
that's
love to
Runefest
answer
Stu.
a question on that.
Alright, we'll ask him about that.
But there was, oh no, actually I don't want to mention that.
Ooh. Anyway, so we've got the results from a straw poll, and basically Onyx Media has asked about us improving the rat pits, and as a result, roughly 80% of players have said they just want it removed.
That is technically an improvement, I think.
Yeah. There we go, improved.
So we're not saying that's going to happen, but the straw poll gives us like an idea of what you guys think about things.
I mean, it's a piece of content that we'll have to, in order to like get working and making it really fun again, if it ever was to begin with. I'm sorry, I hope I'm not offending someone upstairs.
There's a small community of Rat Pits people right now, just like, oh, this is what we do on RuneScape.
I'm sorry, but
You're not though,
it's
are you?
the amount of work that will go into like improving it and getting it on par with like some of our other mini games. Like we wouldn't want to rework it and get it on par with like you want to get on par. Sorry, with the top mini games currently. You better. So the amount of work to do that would be quite a lot, and I think it could go into
Quest. Something else.
Quests, other things, a new mini game, a new completely different mini game. So I think there's so much. People will always pick up on dead content and stuff, and sometimes the better option might be just to remove it and kind of declutter a bit of the world, and then you can have more space and time to add better things into it.
Fair enough. We have another question from the chat saying, from Captain Lexi, will we be able to have item space holders in our banks? And this came up 4 or 5 weeks ago. I think it came up on our first Q&A stream we did.
Yeah,
Was there
it's
any news
coming
on
up a lot. I don't have any news, I'm afraid. People that need to discuss it are currently on holiday and such. So once they get back, we will actually. The people that need to actually sit down and discuss it and work out if it's actually feasible. They've all taken holidays at different times, so they've never had the right time to discuss it so far since then. So
is it going to be like an engine kind of?
It all would require a fair amount of engine, I imagine.
Is it?
Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
Is it something we will be looking to do? It sounds like from the sound of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that's really desirable. I mean, like before ever since I've been here, people have always asked for it and stuff. Over the years, we've looked into it, and people said, "Oh no, it can't be done." And then, like with all these sort of things, you give it 6 months, and then someone else has a new idea that no one's thought of how it could work, or it's never quite worked out. And we've got the same situation again, where Pips spoke to the engine team, and they were like, "Actually, maybe we could do it this way," and they need to speak to some of the content guys and stuff like that, and sort it out and see if it actually is feasible.
Right, fair enough. Take another question. This one was from the forums from Sweetak. We know very little about Elidenis. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Close enough.
Close enough. We know very little about her involvement in the Desert War, the Zaros Desert campaign. Did she have any role in convincing the Majorat to join their side? Some more insight into this would be great. Sure.
Yeah. I mean, bringing the Majorat on board was entirely a Mascot and Icthlarin. They went off and they did that. And they brought them back. Elidenis wasn't really involved too much, other than maybe his support, because Tumicum was very involved with that. I mean, exploding as he did. And she's just like a supportive partner, I suppose, in that regard. There aren't too many plans for her at the moment. But that's something we could always explore in future content once we finish the Desert series, maybe.
Cool. Do you have in your head? Do you have like a plan for the end of the desert?
Oh yeah.
Ah.
Yep.
They're gonna want to know now. The
Yeah,
players are gonna want to know.
Well, then we better get some more quests made.
Did you want to show off some of the GE?
Yeah, there was some questions about the GE. But yeah.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Got to throw up the GE teaser. So throw up GE teaser number 1.
Can I see which GE teaser you're putting up as well?
We'll get a random one. Here we go. There we go. So that's 8 slots. Take it away.
8 slot GE. So, well, the big question people are asking is, I know it's not amazing, is it? But the big question people are asking is, are these going to be free? The answer is yes. We're not gonna. There's no microtransactions
All
attached to this.
free and free to play.
Free to play, get three slots.
Do you know which 3? Which 3 you're gonna give them?
It's the top
They're
left
probably
3.
one.
The top left 3. Yeah.
One there.
Yeah, just randomly around. It does look small, however, the interface itself can't change size due to fixed screen window.
It fills up the whole thing.
Yeah, it fills the whole thing. But what we've done is we've added tooltips and things so you can actually see. The full values. So they get shortened in the top level interface, but you just hover over it.
I think
so
there's one on.
2147M.
Could you bring up the image again?
Yeah, I deliberately showed one of the tooltips there that you could so you can see it.
We'll have it coming up again.
It is free. Lots of people are asking. We have said
yeah.
it is free.
It is free. I mean, you still got the members free to play split, but in terms of like microtransactions, then it's free.
And I'm just going to bring it up again as also that we've also mentioned that everyone will also be getting 100 free bank slots on the
June
15th.
The 15th.
15th of June as well. So as well as the GE that you'll get, and there's the tooltip you can see. So if you hover over it,
it does tell you the exact amount.
Did you fix the gap in the middle is bigger?
I did. I swear I fixed that.
Gap in the middle looks bigger.
I'll get out a ruler, all right? I'll get out a ruler.
But yeah, with this stuff, it's like obviously we're working at the same sort of timeline with Old School and when they're going to release theirs. So don't have a release date at this time.
Yep.
We'll have to see when both teams are ready to release. Really.
But it will go out together. So
yeah, it should.
Sometime in the near future.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be far off.
Yeah. And then the other image was.
I mean, whilst I was there, I'm slowly updating the other G interfaces that are there. So one of them,
the history.
Yeah, I'm going to be looking into the search function soon. The history function is one I've done there. I've put this on Reddit as well recently for some feedback. So this is after a little bit of feedback as well. I changed the quantity icon basically. There's the big things to point out here. I changed the quantity line to basically just be a picture, so you've got like a really quick reference of what you've bought.
Cool.
Also, like bought and sold the different colours.
We currently don't have a picture there, do we?
No, we've got a picture now, just so you've got a really quick reference. Originally, I shortened the price in the price column, but everyone was just saying, can we just have the full price in the G history? So the full price is there now. And if you look, bought and sold are different colours as well, so you should really just have like a really quick reference.
So at the moment it just alternates, doesn't it? So it's kind of like light, dark. Whereas
it's probably worth noting as well, there's 10, the length of your history is now 10, which is doubled from 5 now.
Alright, cool. So any questions on anything about the G, and feel free to throw it in the chat, and if you see it, just pick it up. And
it's those pictures there, like we're in a test environment, so no one else is trading apart from myself. So that red party hat flip is just basically me trading stuff to myself, which you can do.
I can see lots of smiling from over there and giggling. I don't know what's going down.
Yeah.
What's that message say that he's highlighted? I think they're filling the
rat pits with needles. Well, we've got to get rid of the rats somehow, haven't we?
Right, and we had another question from Twitter from AD Gerg. Would there be a chance for a system like Big Mo to be introduced into RS3? Do you know what Big Mo did? Did you know what Big Mo did? Big Mo is kind of like their May event. So he's kind of turned up every day in a completely random location. You got to go find him. Every day resets and appears somewhere else. And he'll give you a clue scroll. You ask for one, and he might give it you.
Right.
So it's just like a thing to do with clue scrolls, really.
I mean, we kind of do our own things.
We've got the road trip.
Yeah.
We'll
have the kind of like probably have the September raffle stuff again, or something similar to last year. We've put in clue scrolls and stuff elsewhere into the game. Like, there's plenty of places to get clue scrolls now.
You can get it from Thala now. Is it Thala?
Yeah.
I get confused between Thala and Chit because they're kind of together at the similar time.
Yeah.
It's a Thala.
There's plenty of places. So we probably won't do something like that we'll have our own ideas and our own separate things and stuff.
A cool thing, so there's nothing at the minute that would give you an increased chance of finding a clue scroll apart from, pardon me, I think there's two things. There's something from Barbarian Assault. I can't remember what it's called though. The Insignia. Or is it from Mobilising Armies maybe? I'm not 100% sure. Then there's the Ring of Wealth, but I looked at it and it's abysmal.
It is terrible,
Don't even bother wearing it. So... yeah, I guess we could, on clues, we could maybe look at doing some kind of ninja update on like an item that would slightly increase the chance of clues, but, whilst maybe hurting you in some way so that it's not OP.
Maybe, I mean, but, you guys get like
clues
2-3 elites now a week.
Yeah. So that went out today,
it's
didn't
now
it?
on
Skeletor
Barrows as well, you get elites.
The Dwarven and Aura from the... gold package sort of stuff, like that doesn't.
Again, you can go on Thala as well, which is another new place for clues.
So you can pick them up pretty easily.
That's the Tri-Skeleton key thing.
There was another question from Kieran, which was asking what is the drop rate of elite clues from Barrows, because they've been recently added. Wondering if they're one of the best.
So the drop rate is 1 in 120. However, for every Barrow's brother you haven't killed, including accuracy, it adds 8 to that. So
if you do 6.
So if you do 6, you haven't unlocked accuracy, then it will be 1 in 128. Cool. And if you don't kill any of them, then what are you doing?
Question from Half-Centure42. He says, Mod Rowley, any plans to add any more desert content soon?
Well,
you get this one a lot, don't you?
Soon.
You get your... you've got other projects you've got to work on, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm full steam ahead on Vampyres at the minute, so that's not something I'll be able to work on anytime soon. As much as I'd like to see it get made, if it comes up in Rune Labs,
so there's one of the top in Rune Labs is Desert-esque at the moment with the drop.
The lizardmen sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how popular that one is against the others, and maybe there's more interest in it.
Who was taking that?
So that's going to be the Dukes. They're going to be doing that.
Okay.
That criteria got submitted by them, so they're going to be doing that. And then the one after is going to be for a medium-sized quest. So possibly medium-sized quest set in the desert.
I mean, there are so many series. Well, not too many now, but I mean, it depends which is the more popular series for us to finish off or to put a new quest in the line. It's something we're actually discussing at the moment. We've got a Models Born calls it a brain trust of lore specialists here, and we're talking about the nature of quests and what we want to do with them in the coming years. So it's something we can talk about there.
Stop people making up lore on the spot on live stream.
Who would do that?
It made sense. I mean, that's what we normally do, but we just do it behind closed doors.
Someone's saying that they'll never let you forget about the camels.
Yeah, the camel god.
Camel gods, yeah.
If people had stacked more camels, they might have summoned him, but they didn't get it high enough, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
There was a question that came from Mick Music Fan. With regards to the GE, will we ever see the ability to modify offers without having to cancel it and make a new one?
We did look into it.
It's
You'd have to bring up another interface, wouldn't you? Could you?
No,
you could give them the arrow option to arrow it up.
Basically, what we looked at, we wouldn't allow you to keep your place effectively in the queue on the Grand Exchange if you did modify it. So basically, what we would do is we'd automatically simulate you pulling it out of the GE and then straight back in.
Okay.
Because being able to just edit it live is kind of a bit unfair. We did kind of look into it.
Doctor looked into it.
It's quite a bit of work.
Yeah, well, he didn't really feel like it was feasible. But again, it's like that bank placeholders that we talked about. It's something. Some stuff doesn't seem feasible at a certain time, but then you look at it again in a few months' time, and then someone's got a fresh idea or something like that. So, never say never.
We're out of time, so we're going to take one more question from this one's from Twitter. And it says Mark Gibbons. From Mark Gibbons? Can we add an option to see legacy-style hit points / hit bubbles in the evolution of combat? Just of the different hit splats is always after.
Toggles on toggles on
Yeah,
toggles.
then you've just got so
We've got-
many different.
We've got the crits pack, haven't we, on Solomon's, isn't it?
Yeah,
There's the one that gives you like
that's
the
The
Bosch.
comic book ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not that's not what they're talking about.
They're talking about the
It's-
smaller, more compact.
it's possible.
Hit splat.
It's a little bit fiddly. Knowing the hit mark code, it's incredibly fiddly,
Yeah.
but it's possible, yes.
Right, so
We still got a few minutes, don't we?
is my watch fast?
I make it kind of like 5-2. I don't know. Are we?
There we go. Okay, right, we'll go for one more question. I don't have a question. You've got a question from the chat, or do you want me to grab one from here that I haven't done yet? There was one or two I hadn't done. Can we see elite void gloves and helmets added to pest control / conquest? There was one.
Aye.
I don't think they need the extra defense on elite.
Nah.
I don't think Void needs anything
It's
more
got-
to help it out. Let's be
It's
honest.
got enough pros
Yeah,
against cons as it is, I guess,
yeah.
Definitely.
right now. And then, do you have any plans to extend the number of notes you can have on your notes interface? 30 is a bit low from E138.
There's no current plans to. I always thought no one used it, but then
I use it.
I was looking at over Modesti's shoulder today, and
I used it.
he had his notepad full of stuff on like what order to use stuff at the rune span and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, okay.
Mine's filled with all of the Easter eggs that are in the notes.
All the Easter eggs.
There's lots of Easter eggs in
Ah.
the notes.
That's on the no now.
I was like, oh, I don't use mine, and then I clicked on it, and then I realised I've used it once when I was at home, and I saw someone who kept on spamming our clan chat. So I wrote their name, as in like when I get back into the office, I should ban them. But,
We don't do that, guys. Just quick
Well,
disclaimer.
no, like to be fair, like when I'm saying spamming, like racist type stuff. So
right, okay.
actual like proper, not just I hate this guy, I'm going to ban him. But yeah, so I do have some dodgy name in my notes, which I forgot about. So if anyone ever looked at my notes, they'll see something like Phallus Demon or something written in there. So.
Fair enough. All right. Anyway, so we're gonna wrap up the stream there. Huge thank you for watching and asking all the questions. We have another stream going on later this evening. It's at 8 p.m. game time. That's going to be with Mod JD and Mod Balance, I believe, and they're going to be going over or having some fun and games with meteors, is what it says. So think Tusker pre-release-esque kind of things. There'll be an interesting stream on that later on this evening, 8 p.m. game time. If you'd like to get your questions asked and answered next week, then there's always a Reddit thread, there's a forum thread under General, RuneScape General, which will go up at the later half of this week, and you can ask your questions in there. If not, you can always come back and ask them in the chat next week as well. Big thank you guys for watching. Big thanks. Anything you want to add?
No, thanks.
No.
No?
No. We're all good.
I guess I'll just mention once again, you will be getting your free, on June 15th, you're getting your free 100 bank slots.
Yep.
So look forward to that as well. Thanks for watching and goodbye. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.